Welcome to BizNation Radio. I am your host, Michelda Johnson. Are you ready to obtain the tools you need to start and grow your small business enterprise? Do you realize that you were made to overcome, you were made to conquer, and you were made to win? God has a plan, and it includes you. Your best is going to happen as you obey His command to come and walk, focused on purpose toward your destiny and your future. Grab paper and pencil and join us right back after this brief message from our sponsors. Keep in mind, BizNation is dedicated to providing practical advice on small business ownership. Our goal is that you will succeed. We'll be right back. Looking for your Water Walker Entrepreneurial Weekly Tips? Water Walker Development is so excited about partnering with Speaking Out Weekly News. Every Wednesday in the paper, you'll have an awesome tip, a business-related tip, a moving forward tip that will help you get started and continue moving forward in your entrepreneurial pursuits. Look for us in Speaking Out Weekly News.
Do you have IRS problems? I'm Vern with TaxCore, and I'm a former IRS revenue officer right here in Huntsville. I know all of the IRS techniques and procedures, where they will search for your money, and exactly how to protect you from them. Our number is 256-489-5596. The IRS has over 4,000 collection officers. They issue over 600,000 tax liens. The IRS will come after you aggressively if you owe them. You want me to fight for you. Don't face them alone. Call me today at TaxCore, 256-489-5596.
Thank you for tuning in to BizNation. My name is Michelda Johnson. Before we get started, I want to invite you to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WaterWalker and like my page on Facebook at Water Walker Ministries. Throughout the week, we share tips and tools of motivation, inspiration relative to your personal growth and development as well as for your small business enterprise. Today, we're sharing tips and tools on possibility, and I want every single Water Walker that I know to believe in yourself and know that all things are possible. Water Walker is committed to the development of current and future entrepreneurs. Our business model speaks to innovation and creativity, and we inspire and aspire to help you bridge the gap between knowing and doing. Our programs combine practical business thought, core values, strategic planning, and tactical execution. We simply believe in the ability of inspiring entrepreneurs to be more, to live a life of abundance and overflow. More importantly, to simply live. Our quote for the day comes from Thomas Jefferson, and it says, "Never fear the want of business. A man who qualifies himself well for his calling never fails of employment." So you have to know what you have been purposed and called to do. And I am proof positive that once you get into the vein of knowing that doors will begin to swing open. I just felt something powerful from there, that when you know and get into the vein of what you are purposed to do, the doors will begin to swing open. People will seek you out for your advice, for your wisdom, and for your knowledge. You find your purpose, and then everything will go from there. Today's show will continue to focus on taking stock of your financial picture. Get your paper and pencil, and let's spend today discussing this financial picture and things we can do to prepare for entrepreneurship. As we know, I know it's an anonymous quote, but if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Habakkuk tells us that we need to write the vision and make it plain. So the planning portion of our business pursuits is critical. We have to make sure that we are downloaded strategic thought process that is in line with who you are, that is in line with your calling. Listen, you can't be successful at what Joe Blow is doing. You have to be successful at what you are purposed and called to do. I say it all the time. My name is Michelda, and I'm a water walker. I say that because I've been purposed to walk that water. And I want to invite all of you to walk it with me. But here's the key that I've had to learn is that I can't teach you. I can't train you. I can't inspire you and motivate you to do something that I'm not willing to go first and do it on your behalf. So that means that I have to go through the struggle. I have to go through the fight. I have to go through the choppy seas and understand how to make it through. And as I'm making it through, I'm throwing my rope and I'm sending a lifeline and I am pulling each and every one of you with me so that we can together walk that water. I'm so excited, as you can tell. So we're talking about the financial picture of your small business. We spent some time in a prior show discussing how to select the right accountant. And then we talked a little bit about that personal credit report. And so I want to talk a little bit more about your personal credit report and that credit score and why that is important. And then we'll go from there into talking about other things related to financing your business. So the key here is that in some instances, you may be asked to be a personal guarantor for your business. And there are ways that you can avoid this. Of course, a lot of it depends on the entity that you elect and the structure of your organization. The key here is that if you don't have business credit, then most creditors will want to depend upon your personal credit score to determine your credit worthiness. And additionally, according to the Small Business Administration, credit cards are the number one source of financing for small businesses. So I want you to be prepared for this as you begin to move forward. So let's go through just a few steps to clean up your credit. Obviously, it starts with knowing what your credit report looks like. By law, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are entitled to a copy of your credit report each year. Because we have 3 reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, that means that you can get 3 reports every year. And there are also now more and more companies offering free reports at any time, like Credit Karma. Some of the credit card companies, for example, Capital One, gives you free access to your credit score and your credit report. But you have to ensure then that once you get that information, you want to make sure that you not only have the report, but you have the score. Now, the most popular is Fair Isaac when it comes to the score, or what we know as FICO. Now, I'm not sure who Isaac is, but I don't think there's hardly anything fair sometimes about his actions. And what I mean simply by this is you can do 1 or 2 things wrong and your credit score will immediately drop 50, 60, 70 points immediately. And then it'll take you years to build back what you lost in an instance. So you want to always be careful about what you're doing. And so here are a few quick tips. Number 1, read your report. Make sure it's accurate. Make sure it reflects your current credit situation. Make sure that things are reported accurately. If there's anything that's not accurate on it, dispute it. Dispute it with that particular agency. It may take you a while. A lot of it now is online. Have your documentation ready, but be prepared to dispute those things. Number 2, pay your bills on time every month. And listen, as a serial entrepreneur and as someone who's navigated the seas, as I like to call it, I know that that sometimes that gets hard and you feel personally attacked by that because it feels bad when you can't do what you've committed to doing. Do your best. Know when to make the sacrifice on the personal side of things so that you are keeping your credit in line with what it needs to be. Don't increase your debt. And in fact, your debt should be paid down to no more than 30% of that credit line. And so you want to make sure that whatever debt you have, that you are keeping that paid down. Now, I've heard two schools of thought on should you have debt at all. Some people say pay everything off. Some people say keep it below that 30% and have it in access or have it in use. In other words, you're saying that I'm using this credit, but I'm not dependent upon this credit, and I'm able to pay this credit or to pay what I'm charging regularly off or pay it down on a monthly basis. So you want to keep it in rotation, so to speak. If you can, increase your credit limits. Call those credit companies if you've had a good track record with them and ask them. I know sometimes I get surprised because my credit card companies will automatically increase the limit that I have. And so if they'll do that, that increases then the difference between, of course, you want to keep what you owe low, and you want to save that for when you have emergency needs in your business. I was talking to a young lady and she found a foreclosed house and they were asking about $15,000 for this house. She paid for the house on her credit card. And so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, that got rid of the whole processing standpoint and all of that. So I want to encourage you to do that as well. And it might become in handy to call your companies and request a decrease as well in the interest rate. Sometimes, especially if you've had the credit cards for a long period of time, we're stuck with an interest rate that is no longer in line with what the market says we should be paying. And so you want to manage that as well. Look at transferring balances over to credit cards that are offering special introductory rates, and you may be able to get those paid off a whole lot quicker than if you're still locked into a rate where you're paying the 18-20% interest, the 12% interest, or whatever your current interest rate might be. And then the other thing I encourage people to do is if you are going to have credit and credit cards, look for those cards that are giving you a reward, whether it's toward miles for travel, hotel, giving you gifting ideas. Look for those opportunities that give you a return back. As always, thank you for tuning in to BizNation. Economic development and growth is key to the sustainability of our communities. So stay tuned, and BizNation will be right back as we talk about financing your small business enterprise. Having questions about your next? Looking for a faith booster to get you to your next level of living? Water Walker 101, Moving Forward with Purpose, is the answer to what you need. This book is designed to help you move out of your boat of comfort and conformity and place you on a path of purpose and destiny. The journey is not always easy, but the insider knowledge is not in the boat, he's on the water. Order your copy today by calling our office at 256-325-0703. Again, order your copy of Water Walker 101, Moving Forward with Purpose, by calling our office at 256-325-0703. You can also order by visiting the website at waterwalkerministries.com. That's waterwalkerministries.com, or you can order at amazon.com. I can't wait to get your feedback. See you on the water. Looking for your Water Walker Entrepreneurial Weekly Tips? Water Walker Development is so excited about partnering with Speaking Out Weekly News. Every Wednesday in the paper, you'll have an awesome tip, a business-related tip, a moving forward tip that will help you get started and continue moving forward in your entrepreneurial pursuits. Look for us in Speaking Out Weekly News. Hello and welcome back. I am Michelda Johnson, and I'm a water walker. Stepping out of the boat into entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It takes courage, faith, tenacity, and belief in yourself that you, my friend, can do it. BizNation is a production of Water Walker Development, and we are committed to helping you not only step out of the boat, but to provide you with the tools necessary to successfully grow and develop your small business enterprise. Today, we've been talking about making sure that you have planned for your small business enterprise by looking at your credit report and being aware of the interest on your credit cards, your FICO score, and that you are preparing yourself from a credit worthiness standpoint. In the second half, I just want to spend a few minutes talking about key questions to ask potential investors in your business. Am I the only one that's a fan of Shark Tank? I absolutely love Shark Tank, and sometimes the deals that they put on the table, I'm looking at the folks that are standing there like, did you not do your due diligence? Did you really not come into this room where there is a number of people sitting here with the potential to pour millions upon millions into your business, whether it's from a financial standpoint or sending a customer base your way, and you are not prepared? And so listen, I want you to be prepared in your business enterprise. Some of you are sitting on multi-million-dollar ideas. You have the capability to do far beyond what you are seeing today, and I need you to be prepared. When that investor comes to you who wants to pour into your business, I want you to have already answered some key questions about what you need, where you are going, and the vehicle that you are willing to use to get there. And so one of the important things is having investors is a great way to finance the future of your enterprise. But you need to clearly understand the pros and the cons of this particular investment opportunity. Most importantly, you need to be sure that you and your investment team are on the same page. So there are key questions that I want you to ask anyone that is potentially considering investing in your business. Number one, what about my business is appealing to you? Can you explain and can they tell you what they like about your business? You want that investor to be as passionate about your business. They won't quite be as passionate as you, but you at least want them to share what appeals them about that business, because that's how they will attract customers and clients. You want more than just somebody putting money on the table. You want that person as well to help you increase your market share. And so you want to make sure that they are equally invested into the business from a mental standpoint of believing in the appeal of your business to a national market, to an international market. Whatever your market is, they need to be able to sell that business for you and with you as well, even if it's just in passing and in conversation. Number two, you want to ask, what other businesses have they invested in? You want to make sure that they have somewhat of a history or an understanding of when the best way is through trial and error, that they have a history and understanding of investing in other businesses. And then you probably want to go a step further and ask them, may you call, or do you have permission to call some of the entrepreneurs that they've invested with before? You want to understand how that relationship worked. You want to make sure that they are presenting themselves in a genuine light, and what they're offering is what they will do. That if they say they're hands off, they're going to be hands off. If they say they're going to be hands on, they're going to be hands on. So you want to be able to check that and make sure that they understand. If they are new to investing, you might want to shy away. But if you don't shy away, you want to make sure that you have a very clear-cut conversation on their role as an investor. Your expectations. Do you want them involved in every decision of the organization? Do you want them to take part? How often are they expecting financial data? How often are they expecting to receive your financial reports? Are they expecting to receive them weekly or monthly or quarterly? And so you need to be well aware of what those expectations are. And I would even go a step further and make sure that when your attorney is drawing up this data, because let me be clear, we don't enter into investment relationships without contractual data to support what we are doing. So you want to make sure that you are detailing and outlining exactly what those requirements are in your legal document. Number 3, you need to understand and ask, how do they envision decisions will be made? Are they expecting to have a seat at the table to be a part of every single decision that you make? You have to decide what you're comfortable with in that. You have to decide, do you work better with a silent partner or do you work better with a hands-on? Are you very sure in what you want to do and how you want to accomplish it? If that's the case, then you might work better with a silent partner. You need to discuss this at the beginning. Listen, you don't want to make these decisions in a vacuum. So how do they envision decisions are being made? What happens if you make a decision that your investors don't agree with? When you start this agreement, you need to establish at the beginning a way out. And I know that doesn't sound like faith, but listen, people are people. People are fickle. I always say there are 3 things that happens in life. You will connect with people, you'll figure out who you are, and then you'll know who God is. And the one thing that remains constant is our relationship and God and what he does. But the rest of that, it is all subject to change. People get fickle. People get funny when it comes to their money. Yeah, I'm rhyming a little bit today. But listen, you need to make sure that you and your investors are clear on what that means for your organization. Next, you need to make sure that you guys are both clear on the role that the investor will play. How active will that investor be in the moving forward and the strategic governing of your business? And so you want to make sure as well that they are aware of the risk. Do they understand the risk that you're taking? You need to make sure that you have presented them with a full-fledged business plan, a full-fledged financial summary. Your projections are sound, and you can't be afraid when they start questioning you on those projections, especially if they're investing 25, 30, 40, 50, $100,000s into your organization. They have a right to ask those questions. If you don't want those questions asked, then you don't need to seek an investor. You have to realize that you, in some regards, have to be open book with the folks that are investing in your business. You also want to set an expectation on when they expect to see a return on their investment. Some people invest in your business and they're expecting, within 12 months that they're going to see a positive return. That may not be the case. It may be that they don't see a return on the business for 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road. And that is an expectation that needs to be set at the beginning. And listen, I know most business owners and entrepreneurs, you are so excited about your brand. You think you've got the next best thing since sliced bread. I need you to be realistic in that expectation on the return, because you will miss it. If not, you will get an investor who is discouraged, who is despondent, and who desires to pull out before you are ready for them to pull out. So as excited as you are, and as much as you think your idea is the best thing since sliced bread, you need to be sure that you are setting a reasonable amount of expectation on that. So questions you should ask yourself: what are you willing to give up in exchange for the investment? Are you willing to give up 15% of ownership or stock, 20%, 30%? How much are you willing to give up? Now, you also need to understand and get your attorney involved in this, because in some cases, when you give up more than 20%, that person is required to be on any loans that you get. You can't get a loan for the business and in the business name without their support and without their permission. So you need to be aware of what the guidelines are, dependent upon what entity you are, as to who needs to go on that paperwork when you're trying to do other things as it relates to your business. Are you willing to risk property and assets? How much control and oversight of the company are you willing to relinquish? And how fast do you want to grow? Listen, it's important that when you are seeking funds from investors, that you've you've got that sound business plan and you know exactly what needs to be done. We'll be right back after this brief message from our wonderful sponsor.
Radar Production Company is an audio-video company providing our clients with professional quality recordings. Every project is important and every client is special to us. Radar Production Company offers the following services: recording studio, commercials, voiceover and jingles, music videos, mixing and mastering, music production, press kits, artist development.
For more information, visit radarproduction.com or call us at 309-750-4801.
Hello and welcome back to BizNation. My name is Michelda. I want to share two resources with you, and they are locally in the Huntsville, Alabama market, but they work on a national level. So if you are looking for someone to help you with your credit, to help you prepare yourself from a financial standpoint with your credit report, I want to recommend, number one, Restoration Credit Services with my girl, Tanya Hammonds. She is a credit consultant, notary. She has a motto that says, things can't be better tomorrow unless you take action today. She is well qualified to help you look at your credit report, determine the things that need to be done to begin the process of improving your credit so that you are ready when it's time to roll out your small business. Contact Tanya at 256-279-7770. That's Tanya Hammonds at Restoration Credit Services, 256-279-7770. Our second resource is Turning Point Credit Services with Christy Penner, Penner. She's a credit specialist as well, and you can reach her on her office number at 256-536-0506. Again, that's Turning Point Credit Services. And listen, I like the name of both of them, from Restoration to Turning Point. These are two people who are qualified to help you get the results that you need. Now, you got to agree and go through the process that they tell you to go through. And the things that they're telling you to do will be for your good. Christy Penner, Turning Point Credit Services, 256-536-0506. BizNation truly believes that reading is fundamental and that serious business owners spend time connecting, reading, learning, and growing. And so a part of our weekly show is our BizNation required reading list. Today we're going to use a book by John Simons, published in 2001, and it's called Every Business Needs an Angel, Getting the Money You Need to Make Your Business Grow. And he talks about one of the biggest problems that most entrepreneurs face is raising money. And of course, without cash, it can be difficult to get your business off the ground and keep it running. So I would encourage you to check out that book, and that it will be a great asset to you and your organization. And then our app of today is called TipBit. It's a free email calendar. It's kind of like an organizer. It's a killer email app that will help you work effectively on the go. It helps you to be more productive while away from your desk. It combines email, your calendar, your contacts, file sharing, and relevant social information on the people that are important to you and your business. And so it's a free app as well. I want to encourage you to access that, and it should be a great help for you and your organization. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm convinced of this, that each individual is born with a passion and purpose. I'm also convinced that your past performance, your past behavior, despite what we say from the HR standpoint, is not indicative of what you can become. We've all made mistakes in our past, but there is a turning point, thank you, Christy, or restoration, thank you, Tanya, that can occur in your life. And once you find what that passion and that purpose is, you will find the key to your success. Doing what you are passionate about and doing it on purpose opens up a life of peace, joy, and happiness so that you can move forward with purpose. Keep testing your boundaries, and I'll see you on the water. My name is Michelda, and I'm a water walker. Having questions about your next? Looking for a faith booster to get you to your next level of living? Water Walker 101 Moving Forward with Purpose is the answer to what you need. This book is designed to help you move out of your boat of comfort and conformity. Order your copy today by calling our office at 256-325-0703. You can also order by visiting the website at waterwalkerministries.com, or you can order at amazon.com. Looking for your Water Walker Entrepreneurial Weekly Tips? Water Walker Development is so excited about partnering with Speaking Out Weekly News. Every Wednesday in the paper, you'll have an awesome tip, a business-related tip, a moving forward tip that will help you get started and continue moving forward in your entrepreneurial pursuits. Look for us in Speaking Out Weekly News.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to BizNation Radio with your host, Michelda Johnson. BizNation Radio is a production of Water Walker Development. The executive producer is Michelda Johnson. BizNation Radio is produced and directed by Radar Production Company. Comments and views heard on BizNation Radio is for the sole purpose of information. Thank you for listening to BizNation Radio.